welcome to the Cardiff International Whitewater Centre in Wales for the first International Canoe Federation's World Cup of the 2013 season in slalom. 198 of the world's top paddlers from 23 nations are competing in the 5 classical slalom categories. We'll be covering the top 3 from each category. I'm Matthew Layton. Sit back and enjoy the action. Go straight into it. The canoe singles men final. A few big names didn't make it into the top 3, but here's one who has. 26-year-old Michael Jane from the Czech Republic. Was in the national team, had a year out, and he's come back in form. Swept through the first round semi-final, and now this is the one that happens. Catch up with him on upstream gate 8. Sticks in there a little bit, but coming through. And slightly down on the top time at the moment, but quickly through 11. Needs to negotiate upstream gate 14 with care. A lot of the athletes have been sticking in the stop of it. He needs to do well here, re-accelerating the boat through the tricky slalom section here, and now he's setting himself up over the catapult drop. Makes through that, comes into the last difficult section. Really needs to force against the current. Very solidly over the stopper, through the last downstream, and it's paddle away. Here we go. Settles in with an excellent first time, and more crucially, it's clear. Now here's a star of the sport. He's been around forever. This is 37-year-old Stanislav Jezek from the Czech Republic. Floats across the top of the water and is known in the business for one of the best upstream negotiators there are. Well, apart from now, that's a very clumsy 2 points, but he's fast enough to make this time up. And look at the speed that he comes out of 11. Crucial to be as smooth as possible through this section. Now drops into tight 14. Bangs the boat on the side. It's not a penalty, but it might cost him a little bit, but he manages to keep the boat going crucially. Jezek made it to 2 Lundell finals, the C1 and the C2s. Didn't medal. Here we come into the last section. Really needs to fight against the current, but doing it well. Pushing through the last one, and he comes to the line. Very good time here, and takes the lead with a 2-second penalty. Just shows you the talent of this top Czech paddler. It's 25-year-old Matthias Beneš from Bratislava in Slovakia. Younger sister of Dana Mann, by the way. Here he comes, is on form, recently came 3rd in the Europeans. Quickly round gate number 8. By the way, there's 24 gates today, 6 upstream. They're the red and whites, as you see, and you make your time, or you can lose your time in the upstreams. Given a 50-second penalty, but didn't see where it touched there, so we'll have to wait and see. Punts off the wall, which of course you're allowed to do. The idea is to keep the boat moving as fast as you can in a straight line. Here he goes, one of the best of the day, moving around, very difficult upstream 22, just has to keep the boat in a good line. Paddle over to the line. And here we go. You can see his frustration, but in fact, after video analysis, the 50-second penalty was taken up. Confirmation of the results. Stanislav Jezek first, the Czech Republic. Matěj Beneš for Slovakia second. And Michael Jane for the Czech Republic in 3rd.
I was quite happy that my run went pretty nice in this weather condition, because the wind is really not helping us, and I think all of us has some trouble with gates moving 10-20 centimeters from side to side, so one touch was okay in my run.
So this course was quite challenging. So we started off, the top section used the features really nicely. There was a good stagger and a nice up left. And then it was a bit of a challenging down in the eddy. You had to really make sure your bow was controlled, or you could pin a gate. And then you wanted to get the speed up and running. And the rest of that afterwards was a couple of staggers, nice and easy. And then a boilie eddy, which is quite common on this course. They're a bit challenging and you have to make sure the boat's flat. The last move was one of the most challenging, and a lot of people had trouble there. You had to make sure you were really balanced and using the wave to get you into the upstream and exiting really hard to the finish. Yeah, the wind was quite challenging because the poles move obviously, and it's the same for everybody. You just got to make sure you're keeping off the poles.
This is the start list of the final for the women's canoe singles. We'll take a look at the top two. Very difficult conditions. Kimberly Woods from Great Britain, great junior career. She's now moving up to the seniors at the big age of 17. Here in Cardiff last year we had a few tears. What's going to happen today? Good confident start. Here she goes on the upstream gate 8. Very tidy in and out there. Exactly the same course as the men. Equally technical, although perhaps lacking a little bit on the force. But this is a good time again, in and out of the gates. Just to remind you, the green and white gates downstream, the red and white gates upstream. If you hit a pole, that's a 2-second penalty, but she's really performing well here. Ducks under the pole. All she has to do now is keep a straight line. This is an excellent run, far better than any of the semi-finals. Kimberly Woods crosses the line. You'd think she's just won Olympic gold. And maybe someday she will. Now for one of the real superstars of this sport, 19-year-old Jessica Fox from Australia. Famous parents, but perhaps she outshone them both in the London Summer Olympics. Only 18 years old, winning a silver medal in the K1 category. Clearly this is the C1s. What can she do? Always looks to be in control. Very powerful and deliberate strokes. Here she comes into the second upstream we're going to see. So efficient there, putting the strokes down. Jessica, a glittering junior career, is the current junior world champion in kayak and canoe. Needs to accelerate the boat a little bit more. It's going to be tight on the split. Switching, as you see, the women are switching a lot more than the men. Here she comes, last crucial second. At the moment, it's 2 seconds up, but this is losing a little bit of time. How's she going to negotiate? The very difficult last session, masses of water against her, and she's struggling. Head just underneath. There is a touch. It's all gone wrong. And she grabs defeat from the claws of victory. But someone's won. First World Cup victory for 17-year-old Kimberly Woods from GB. Jessica Fox in silver, and a well-deserved bronze medal for Mallory Franklin from GB.
I was a bit worried about it because it was really like massive delay at the beginning because of the water, but I thought I just went into it doing the same preparation and everything, and I put down a really solid run there. I didn't think I had it in me, but I obviously did. Stuck to my plan as much as I could, and it paid off.
How was last year for you?
It was a great year. I could compete at my 5th Olympics, and we were expecting a second baby, so couldn't be better.
It was good. A lot of progress in my paddling. Not the best results, but I think it's all coming together.
2012 was awesome. I got to go to the London Olympic Games, which was the highlight of my career. Also went on some wicked extreme races, broke my back and had a great off-season just recovering. But all in all, 2012 was full of experiences.
Last year was a pretty good year for me, although at the end of it I felt like I had a lot more to learn. So I'm focusing on making those improvements and hopefully I'll have an even better year this year.
It was very hard because I broke my paddle at the Olympics, so a big defeat for me.
Last year was my best year yet, and I had some great results, and competing at the Olympics and winning a medal was just a dream come true for me.
Challenging and eye-opening, but I feel I've come out of it a better paddler and a person.
I did the best whitewater race ever, and I won it. I won the Whitewater Grand Prix, so it was amazing.
Well, last year was disappointing, qualifying for London and then getting injured, so it's nice to be back on the World Cup Tour again.
This is the rundown of the final of the K1 men, the single kayaks, sitting down, 2 blades on the paddle and packed with stars. Fabian Dofler, 29 years old, from Germany, twice has been the world champion, 2005, 2007, presently ranked number 6 in the world. Just look at the acceleration here as he powers through the first gates. The boat sitting lovely and well on top of the water. Powers through gate number 8 and over the tricky bubbly water here. These boats, by the way, lighter this year. The kayak minimum weight is only 8 kilograms and is well ahead on the split. How's he going to take the last difficult, treacherous session? Here he goes, cuts across it. All he has to do now is negotiate the last downstream. Keeps the line going, accelerates the boat over the line. And that's a very impressive run from the young German. Don't adjust your screen. Yes, he is competing for the USA. It's Fabien Lefebvre. Recently moved across from France. Has been one of the top paddlers in the world for many years. 2002, 2003, world champion no less. And also very, very useful in the C2 category. Just has to find himself a partner in the States now. A little bit down. But Fabien Dofler's time was so top. Total control, managed to re-accelerate the boat. Punting off the wall, getting the mainstream again. It's all about finding the right line, pushing yourself off the wave, and he does it with great success. All he has to do now, find the line, go through the last gates. That's cleverly done. Powers over the line. That's a great time. Again, clear. Dare I say the kayakers are making it look almost easy, and it's certainly not. It's a technically very difficult, very narrow channel. Sebastian Schuber from Germany won in Cardiff last year. Recently came 3rd in the Europeans, 29 years old, part of a very, very strong German team. Again, great acceleration at the start. Clearly the challenge is to keep this going for the next 100 seconds. Very tight through the upstream gate. Little difficult stagger. The water's not moving quickly. You need to re-accelerate your boat. Find the right line. Here he's coming in. Oh, that's possibly the best of the day. And Sebastian Schubert powers over to the line. Where's he going to come? An honourable 2nd place. Not as good as last year, but still pretty good. Results. Gold to Fabien Dofler from Germany. Silver to Sebastian Schubert from Germany. And third to Fabian Lefebvre from, yes, the USA.
I'm completely happy with my run and happy with the outcome. It could have been someone was faster, but yeah, today it was really windy and everyone had to struggle with the conditions, and apparently I solved it the best way. I'm happy with that.
My name is Etienne Dye. I am a French kayak slalom paddler. I was born in 89 in Czech Republic, in the city of Prague. My parents was two slalom paddlers. My father paddling C2, my mother K1. They meet on an international race in Bourg-Saint-Maurice. So a lot of people in my family are paddlers. Be qualified in the Olympic Games. For me, it was the most important thing in my life all of the last year. So I am really happy to do it. It's my dream life.
I'm Nuria Newman and I'm racing slalom as well. And I was racing with Etienne since we were maybe 7 years old. It's 100% into kayaking. It means that sometimes if you stay for an entire day with him, you're gonna wake up, have breakfast, go kayaking, come back from your training session, then watch a kayaking video, have lunch, watch some more kayaking videos and go kayaking again. I think it's making him pretty special.
I think all of my career was planned to be selected last year for the Olympic Games. The aim of this year is really the World Championship in September in Prague. It's the city where I was born. I won last year the World Championship, so my goal is to win the world. Bye bye, see you soon.
Straight on with the action, and it's the women's kayak this time. Here's the top 10. Let's look at the top 3. Cindy Poschel from Germany, 23 years old, often has some good results. World ranking 16th, came third in Cardiff last year. Part of a very, very strong German men and women's team. Setting herself up nicely. This has had a lot of problems in the last couple of days, but she makes it out with ease. Needs to re-accelerate the boat. And as you can see, loads of German teammates hopping along from the side. This has been tough, but she's one of the best negotiations of the day. Just needs to set herself up well for the last downstream gate. And that's a demonstration of how it should be done. Re-accelerates the boat over the line. That's an excellent result for the young German. Lizzie Neve made it to the Olympic Games. Didn't make it to the final, but she's been on top form this early season from the UK. Lives for the sport. Great power and dedication. Here she comes, setting herself up nicely for the first upstream. In and out quickly and cleanly. In and out in 3 strokes. Keeping the line well as she comes over to take upstream 11. And it's well ahead. This is a lesson in canoeing. Here she comes down the big last drop of the day. Bounces off the wave. Puts the power down. Lines herself up for the last downstream gate. And accelerates over the line. Obliterated the field there. It's a cracking run. And she's delighted. Pitch of concentration. Elena Kaliska from Slovakia. 2 Olympic gold medals. 2004, 2008, missed out in 2012 to Jana Dugatova, but she's back on form and at 42 years old, jumping around like a spring lamb. Here she comes. And she's in touch, slightly down on Lizzie Nee, but only half a second. That can be made up. Putting in a few too many corrective strokes. We'll have to really accelerate the boat away. And as she comes to the last section, little bit further down than Lizzie, but manages to jump over the difficult stoppers, line herself up through the last. This is going to be a great run. Finally comes over and makes a very good second place.
It was a great race for me. Started off well yesterday, winning the qualification. Not so good in the semi-finals last night, but I knew I could go better, and I knew I was fast enough to go as fast as the best girls yesterday. And yeah, I was pretty happy with that run just then, and to take the win. I'm so excited.
Doesn't get much more exciting than this. It's the canoe doubles. And we have in the final all 3 Olympic medalists. The young Slovenians won a river race a couple of weeks ago, and they were also pretty good in slalom, having some great results last year. That's 22-year-old Luka Bozic in the bow and Saso Taliat, 23-year-old, in the stern. Putting together a really good performance. Round gate 18, punting off the wall to put themselves in the ideal line to carry on the course. And they're well in touch. Just need to set themselves up for the last big drop of the course. This is the one that's been catching them all out. And that's very good. Here they go, set themselves up for the last big barrier. Paddling over the line. Take the first place and a clear run. Last year they just missed out on the first place. Olympic silver medalists. They won here last year. David Florence, 30 years old in the bow, and 31-year-old Richard Hounslow in the stern. They've both been competing in the singles this week, but they're expecting a lot of pressure on them, expecting big results. Very tight on the first upstream of the day. Accelerating the boat round. Slightly down, but all to play for. Just need to line the boat up. Here we go. Maybe losing a slight bit of time. Need to get the line correct. Pushing for home. Puts them provisionally in the first place. And they really respect each other. True legends of the sport. It's the Hochschorner twins. Pavel in the front, Peter in the back. They've won 3 Olympic golds. Only managed to claim bronze in the London Olympics, but are ranked number 1 in the world. Complete telepathy between these two. Punting off the wall, accelerating the boat through. Very, very bubbly eddy here. Make it look easy. Into the speed. Here we go. This is the last one. It's going to count. Paddling through. And they're still well in touch. How are they going to get this last gate? And it's looking good. World number 1, legend of the sports, and winners today. After hundreds of victories, it's still good to see they take satisfaction. Hochschorners take the gold, Florence and Houndlow silver, and Bozic and Taliak for Slovenia take the bronze. Olympic champions Bailey and Stoddin 4th.
Today was not windy like yesterday, but it was really cold and it's hard for training for water because the muscles are harder and paddling is difficult.
That's it for the fantastic Cardiff International Whitewater Centre. I'm Matthew Layton. See you next weekend in Augsburg, Germany.